let me introduce the idea of antifragility with the following. I was an option trader before I met Danny. We met in 2003, and of course, it changed a lot of things for me. I decided then to become a scholar, all right? Right after meeting him, immediately. I said, okay, I'm going to be a full-time scholar. It took me a couple of years, to become a scholar. And of course, I went and I had a book that I had to revise. Anyway, before that, I was an option trader. And option traders aren't very sophisticated people. They know two things, volatility and alcohol, all right? So, and they classify things into things that like volatility and things that hate volatility. There are packages that like volatility, packages that hate variability volatility. They call it long gamma or short gamma. That was my specialty. When I entered the scholarly world, I realized that there was no name for things that benefit from volatility. Robust isn't it. You see, things that are robust, things that are adaptable, things that are agile, resilient, destructively resilient, creatively resilient, all these things, they're not the opposite of fragile. And they're not the equivalent of things that gain from volatility. So I figured out that what is short volatility is fragile. This doesn't like volatility because if there's an earthquake in New York, you never know with, Paul, maybe earthquakes here, but if there's an earthquake, this is not going to gain from the earthquake. You see? So it does not like disorder, it does not like volatility, it doesn't like these things. So I just, figured out that the fragile is a category of object, and the opposite of fragile was not robust. The opposite of fragile had to be a different category. If I'm sending a package to Siberia, fragile, you translate into Siberian or whatever Russian they use, handle with care. The opposite wouldn't be, a robust package. You write nothing on it. The opposite would be something on which you would write, please mishandle. So there's no name for that category. So I called it antifragile. What benefits from volatility has this, object. And I realized that somehow, people were intuitively wouldn't get it. When we shoot for something, we shoot for resilience. That's not it. If you aim for resilience, you're not going to do very well. So, I decided to classify, and this book is about classification of things into the three categories, fragile, robust, antifragile. We want to eliminate volatility from life. We make the categorical mistake, I call it mistaking the cat for a washing machine. I don't know if you own a cat or washing machine, they're very different. The washing machine will never self-heal. An organism needs some amount of variability and disorder, otherwise it dies. An organism communicates with the environment via stressors. You see, you have stressors, you put, you lift weight, your bones are going to get thicker. If you don't do that, if you go on a space shuttle, you're going to lose bone density. So you need stressors. So people made a mistake of thinking that the economy is more like some machine that needs constant maintenance, will never get better, and like this, you put it on a table, okay, it will be harmed by any disorder, and a human body that needs some amount of variability. That huge mistake led us to micromanage the economy into chaos. Take forest fires. If you extinguish every forest fire, single forest fire, a lot of flammable material would accumulate, and the big one would be a lot worse. So what Mr. Greenspan did, actually he's writing a book, he probably may come here for an interview, but Greenspan did is he micromanaged the economy. Had you given him the seasons or the nature, he was fixed nature at 68.7 degrees year-round, no more seasons. So of course things got weaker, and you had the pseudo-stability. Danny himself, you've mentioned in your writings that human beings are chicken, okay? They claim to have a lot of courage, so they take risks they don't know. They like to take risks they don't understand. Because when you show them variability and risk, they get scared. So we try to manage things, over-manage things, our health, the economy, a lot of things, into complete chaos and fragilize it. That's a mistake. The first mistake is mistaking something organic for an engineered product. So that's the first mistake. And of course, that has there's a psychology behind it.